Today's episode is all about depth of field, particularly shallow depth of field, where your main subject is in focus and your background is sharp. I'm going to show you on the Apple camera how to do this using the lock focus mode, and I'm also going to show you how to cheat it using an app. This is particularly great where you've got a photo where you need to separate the main subject from your background.
Adorama TV presents iPhoneography with Nicki Fitz-Gerald.
One of the most popular techniques used by professional photographers is creating a depth of field. Now this is simply where we have the main subject in focus and the background usually blurred. Now adding a depth of field is really going to add a professional look to your photographs. And guess what? It's really easy to do on an iPhone, and I'm going to show you how. To have more control over the look of your photos, one of the things you really need to get to grips with is the lock focus mode in your Apple camera. Now this isn't complicated at all, but it's a really important thing to learn, and I guarantee once you've learned it, you're going to be using it 99% of the time. Now the autofocus mode in the Apple camera is pretty good. You can check how quick it is in our Focus Pixels episode. But if you want the camera to see something the way you're seeing it, then you need to lock the focus on the part of the image you want to get sharp. The Apple camera won't always do that for you. So to learn this aspect of it is really important. I'll show you how to do this in the scene we've got behind me here on these little daffodils. If I point my camera, and I'll open the Apple camera first, and point my camera to the scene behind me, what you can see when we've got our camera here, the autofocus is automatically focusing on the scene in the background. And what we want is the daffodils in focus. So what we need to do is just click on there, and there our daffodils have sprung into life. The background's gone nice and blurred. And we've got that great depth of field look. I'll take a photograph, but what happens is the focus just went back into the background, and now we've got the daffodils once again out of focus. Now, if we want to lock that focus on, we simply, instead of tapping, we tap and hold. The auto lock comes on, and now we've got our beautiful daffodils once again in focus, and we can take that picture. And look what happens when I've taken it. The autofocus doesn't reset. We've got our daffodils here still in focus. If we wanted to move that around, they'd still be there in focus, no problem. And we can carry on and continue taking photographs. A simple technique, a really easy one, but it's really going to make a huge difference to your photography. Sometimes with an iPhone, we don't always get our photos exactly how we want them because we're rushing to take that shot. We're in a hurry and we can lose our subject against a busy background. So we can actually cheat this depth of field effect by bringing our subject forward and making our background blurred after we've taken the photograph. I'm going to show you how to do this in the app called Leonardo. So the first thing we need to do is open the Leonardo app. We need to bring in our photograph by pressing the plus button, top right hand corner. Click on Photo Library. Now we need to find our photograph, find the photo, click on it to bring it into the Leonardo app, and it's formed a layer in the top right hand corner here. We need to duplicate that layer, so we're going to blur that layer and then we're going to mix the two together. Click on that layer to duplicate it. See it's come up duplicate here, click on that, and what we're going to do is going to blur that layer by clicking on the sun button at the bottom. We're going to find Gaussian blur, click on that, and then we're going to blur this whole layer just by sliding across. I'm going to overdo it a little bit just to show you the technique. I'm going to click on the tick button there, and that's blurred that layer. Now what we need to do now is go back to our layers, and we're going to bring this layer to the bottom by clicking and dragging. That's our blurred layer, so our sharp layer is now on top. We need to click on the sharp layer now, that's highlighted in blue. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove this sharp layer part of it to reveal the blurred background. We do this by clicking on the masking tool, click on the brush, and what you need to do now is start rubbing the background away. And what this is going to do is going to reveal that bottom blurred layer. And what happens here is, because this is blurred in the background, this is going to make the foreground, our main subject, Lewis, nice and sharp. It's going to push it back. Now you can adjust the size of this brush slightly and the softness just by using that tool there. And you can go in really, really nice and close, right close up here to his ear, and work round nice and detailed, so you're going to get a nice, fine, soft touch, a natural touch around. And we can make that brush bigger, but should make it a bit softer. And let's come in here and let's get rid of that boat here. And then brush all around with a wide brush, just fill in the bigger areas. Get rid of that litter bin, which I didn't see when I was taking the photograph. And we can also, if we go over the edges, we can also take that away again by pressing that icon up there. Okay, so you can see the effect now. It's pushed that background right back. I've overdone it a little bit just to show the effect, but you can see that's really making our main subject jump forward. And we can go in and refine that detail, make our brush smaller, go right in, up close, pixels, that's just bring it back. Work our way round his face. You can bring that back a bit, bring his ear back. And just keep working around. And you start to see the sharpness of Lewis really jumping forward. And you see the effect has really made him pop forward. Looks a bit strange at the moment because we've still left a few bits, but there we go. And they're happy with that. We've created that great depth of field look, and that's fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. So there we have it, 2 great ways of creating that depth of field look, using the lock focus mode in your Apple camera or cheating it with the Leonardo app with a photograph you've already taken, blurring the background, keeping the main subject sharp. Have a go, it's really easy to do. And don't forget to subscribe to Adorama TV, where you can find lots more information on iPhoneography related items and all of our products. We'd love to know what you think, so like, comment or share on our videos, and hop over to the Adorama TV Learning Centre, where you'll find lots more hints, tips, tricks and tutorials. I'll see you next time.
Do you want great looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy to use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use adoramapix.com.